What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the LEGO Icons The Lord of the Rings The Shire set, and I've got a lot of thoughts on this LEGO set, so let's get into it. But first off, it's worth mentioning that if you pick this up within the first week, as long as stocks are still available, you'll be able to grab the Smeagol and Eagle gift with purchase, as well as this lovely limited edition Lord of the Rings poster. I really was quite shocked when the staff member at the LEGO store gave me this, as it just looks absolutely awesome. I really do want this framed, and yeah, I'll be putting this on display for sure. So we're going to start off with the exterior of Bag End, and first off, I think it looks really good. I think this is going to be a beautiful display piece. There's lots of colours. You've got all the different usage of the pieces to recreate all the plants. You've got the boomerang pieces for the fence. That looks really good. You've got the little entrance sign where it says no admittance except party business. That is just really cool. Love those little details. You've got a little bench for either Bilbo or Frodo to sit on. And yeah, really happy with how the exterior looks. I also like the way that the set kind of comes at you from an angle, so looks very good. Gives that kind of 3D vibe. Doesn't look too boxy like the older version of the Bag End, the Unexpected Gathering set. This one looks a lot better in that way. I do think though they could have done a lot better job of the tree on top of Bag End. In the movie it's obviously a lot bigger than that, so to scale it's not very accurate, but yeah, not the biggest gripe that I have with this LEGO set. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the interior for Bag End, and for the most part it looks quite good. There's lots of details, lots of hidden Easter eggs and movie references to the Fellowship of the Ring where Gandalf goes to meet Frodo and Bilbo. Okay, so we'll start off with the dining room, and what I will say is that these chairs are a bit of a nightmare. They're very loose, they don't actually stick to the studs, you'll notice, so yeah, that was a real problem. If it's going to be on display, that's not going to be too bad, but if you want to play with it, it's a bit of a nightmare. You're not exactly going to be even able to sit any minifigures on that. The fireplace function is quite cool. You'll see you have a little lever here so you can swap between the ring and the letter. I think that is quite cool. I must say that I do really like these printed tile pieces. They look really cool. You've got the lovely printed pattern there, as well as on the front kind of rug. That looks really good. Very premium. And then you even have a pair of black Indiana Jones whips, which is used for the interior of the door. I think that's quite a cool little look there. And then finally we have this small room at the end to the left side of the interior, and this is Bilbo's study where he does his writing of his book, and you'll see a nice little Easter egg there with the there and back again, where obviously he's writing his experiences in basically the Hobbit book. Yeah, so that's really cool. You got a little pen there, little feather. Yeah, it's got some really nice details. It's just very small, and that's the one thing you'll really notice about the interior to Bag End. I also want to add that the interior at times feels rather half-baked. It feels like they're missing part of the roof element. I mean, what was the point of having this smooth piece here? It feels like there's meant to be a bit of roof that's connecting over. Yeah, it just feels very odd how there's that kind of missing. Yeah, I think it would have looked maybe a little bit better if you'd have been able to close off the upper part there and add in a bit of extra roof just to make it feel even more like a hobbit hole, and then maybe you could remove it to get into the interior. But yeah, that feels very half-baked in my opinion. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the side builds for this LEGO set, and things don't really get too much better. The tree in the background is just as bad as it looked in the first images. It looks very boxy. Though I will say though that banner looks really good, the Happy Birthday Bilbo Baggins banner. You've also got a really nice swivel function, and I do think that is quite a nice touch to have Bilbo go from being there to then turning invisible. We've also got this firework dragon on top, which looks really good. Really happy with how that turned out. It looks very good. The tent is perhaps my favourite part of the side builds. It looks really good, and it comes with that awesome pattern, and it's somewhat sturdy. So yeah, great little side build here. Very exclusive to this set, and definitely makes it feel a bit more premium. The birthday cake is fine, just very unnecessary, and it feels like LEGO were really trying to boost that piece count with this. And then finally we have the small grassy section with the firework planted in the ground that Merry and Pippin can mess with, and it looks really good on display. You can even have those two with the different charred faces, which looks really comical. And then the final side build is Gandalf's cart, the horse and cart. It would have been really cool, I think, if this would have actually been its own Lego set. I think a $15 price point would have sold a lot of these if you included Gandalf and Frodo. Yeah, overall this is a very good addition to the Lego set, and it's really cool Lego decided to include one of the original Lego Lord of the Rings sets and redesign it and put it in this Lego set. Over 400 pieces are used with the side builds alone, so the price could have been a lot lower without them, and it just, to me, it feels like a lot of these side builds were very unnecessary and were almost used as a way to kind of justify this Lego set being a lot more expensive than it otherwise should have been. We're going to move on to the minifigures now, and I think overall they are really, really good. Every minifigure is very well designed, really impressed with how Lego came up with the designs for these. The skirt pieces, particularly on Rosie and Mrs. Proudfoot, are really good. So going one by one now, we have Mrs. Proudfoot, Mr. Proudfoot, Gandalf the Grey, Frodo Baggins, Bilbo Baggins, Merry and Pippin, Samwise Gamgee, and Rosie. And yeah, one thing that really just stands out to you is those dual moulded legs on each of the Hobbit minifigures. They're just so good. It would be real shame now if Lego ever decided to get rid of that, because that is just, it's almost becoming very iconic for the Lego Lord of the Rings and Hobbit minifigures. Overall, do I think this Lego set is worth it? Well, not quite. I do think this Lego set should definitely have been a little bit cheaper, probably around the maybe $220 mark, if I'm going to be completely honest. But yeah, it's a bit of a travesty that this is priced at $270, because that actually makes it the highest price per piece ratio out of all the Lego Icon sets. So it really does go to show just how expensive this set is. But if you are a big Lego Lord of the Rings fan, I maybe would recommend you grabbing it within the first week. If you think of grabbing it anyway, try and grab it in the next few days, because then you'll be in with a chance of getting the Smeagol and Eagle gift with purchase, as well as the Lord of the Rings, the special printed poster, which to be honest I absolutely love and I think is going to be a real collector's piece in the future. Overall, the design of Bag End is very good, though it does have a very cramped interior and it does feel a little bit half-baked on the inside, but the minifigures are very premium and a lot of the features are really cool, especially some of the printed cloth pieces, such as the roof for the tent and the Bilbo Baggins banner. Overall, I'd probably give this Lego set a 7.5 out of 10, so nowhere near as good as Rivendell or Barad-dûr, but this is still a solid entry into the Lego Lord of the Rings line. But anyway guys, thank you for watching this review. Let me know down in the comments what you think to this Lego set. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.